Hello, 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 my loves. As always, I hope that this video or this live finds you well and in excellent spirits. Welcome to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast live here in the Astro Room on YouTube. I am your host and your favorite astrologer, Mel of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So, if this is our first time meeting, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this channel is everything astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, or if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, my love. So welcome to this edition of the weekly Astro Forecast for the week of December 16th through 22nd, 2024. All right. So we are definitely making our way to the tail end of 2024 and things are about to get really interesting. All right. That's all I can say. So I am dropping the yearly Astro Forecast video this coming Friday. And honey, 2025 is a whole different ball game. And I'm not even just saying that to get you to watch it, even though you definitely should. I'm saying that because the astrology is some of the things that are going on in 2025 we haven't seen in our lifetime. We haven't experienced. So we are sort of on this new frontier of planetary energy and seeing how this is going to play out and seeing how it builds up. 2024 was sort of a builder year as it builds into 2025. 2025 is when we really start to feel the energetic shifts and some of the planets kind of play peekaboo a little bit. And then 2026, we are off to the races in ways that, like I said before, we haven't experienced in this lifetime. So it's going to be an interesting ride over the next couple of years. And my yearly Astro Forecast will have you more than prepared for what is to come. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button and that notification bell yet, definitely do so you'll know exactly when that video drops so you can watch it and get prepared for what is to come. All right, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm already talking about 2025. We're still in 2024, and this is the week of December 16th. And so we're experiencing a planetary shift this week as we enter Capricorn season. So we're at the tail end of Sagittarius. The sun is about to move into Capricorn, and it's going to be a whole different beast in a way that will likely feel a little different than some of the past Capricorn seasons. And I'll get into that in a second. Let's see what else we got going on for the week. Everything else we've got going on for the week is pretty regular. We're still in the energy of the full moon in Gemini, which happened yesterday. So if you're not really familiar with what that full moon had to offer, I did a dedicated video. Check the channel to watch that, or you can just watch last week's weekly Astro Forecast where I discuss it. But this is about change, right? Change through challenge and also much to learn. All right. And so we're still in the energy of that. So if you find that maybe this full moon has been a little quiet, give it some time. We still have another day where the energy is still going to be kind of live. All right. Other than that, it's pretty much a regular week. Not too much going on, which is good. But again, the major focus is the sun moving into Capricorn. All right. But before I get into all of those details, housekeeping and announcements. So if you are joining me here on the live, thank you so much for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate you. Say hi on your way in and hit that thumbs up. It is the best way to support the channel. It lets the algorithm know that you like this type of content. And so it will disseminate it to other people who may like it as well. And that helps the channel grow. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate that. And if you are catching this on the replay, I sincerely appreciate you just as much. Hopefully you get what you are looking for in this broadcast, whether it's confirmation, clarity, illumination, enlightenment. You'll probably find it here. So stick around, get comfy. We're going to be talking about the astrology for the week. All right. And so if you are someone who is brand spanking new to astrology, you don't know what's going on, you know that your natal chart is important. And if this is the first time that you are hearing this, yes, your natal chart is indeed important, but you have no idea how to read it. You don't know what's going on. I got you covered. You'll definitely want to sign up for my free live weekly, I should say bi-weekly workshop called Your Cosmic Selfie, an Intro to Your Natal Chart. It's short, sweet, to the point. It basically teaches you an overview of your natal chart and how to read it so you can get the fundamentals down so you can figure out what the hell is going on. All right. Link will be in the description box below. and tag to the video as well. I give it every 2 weeks, so you can pick whichever day that you want to tune in, and you can sign up. And if you can't make any of the dates, just by signing up, you will get a copy of the replay. All right. So you are good to go with that. All right. And of course, 2025 is right around the corner. And so you'll definitely want to schedule your year ahead 2025 reading. This helps you understand what is in store for you specifically for the entire year. All of the important dates, important themes, what you should watch out for, what you should prepare for. We go through it all, including your numerology. All right. So this is a very, very robust and comprehensive reading. Slots are limited. I will only probably be offering this till the end of January. I'm not too sure. So you'll definitely want to sign up sooner rather than later. All right. Link is in the description box below. And of course, is tagged to the video. All right. So let us talk about the week and see exactly what's going on. But the thing that I want to highlight the most is the Capricorn season and the winter solstice. Okay. So the winter solstice is on December 21st, the first day of Capricorn season. And it's a very spiritually symbolic kind of time. And, for the longest time, I really just thought that the whole point of the winter solstice was that, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the longest day. No, it's the longest night of the year, right? We have the shortest hours of daylight, longest night, right? But once I really started studying, right, spirituality and really understanding things a little deeper, I love the premise of the winter solstice. And once I tell you this premise, it might sound very familiar to you. Okay. So the winter solstice, even though it falls on the longest night of the year, it's actually a celebration of delight. We celebrate the fact that the longest night has passed and now the sun is reborn, the sun reemerges. Okay. Now, Capricorn season heralds a certain holiday, right? Perhaps the biggest holiday of the year, when a son was born, right? That symbolized a change, right? Or a new light in the world. So the winter solstice, it is a celebration of light. And it also signifies hope over darkness, how hope triumphs over darkness, right? And I absolutely love that. One of the themes or the messages I've been getting over the last couple of days is like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right? And that's I think, a phrase that's overused a lot, like nothing lasts forever. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. But that is so true. There really is a light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing really lasts forever. Light will always triumph over darkness. And it's not to say that light is better than darkness. It's just they're two different things, both necessary things. But I love the fact that the winter solstice celebrates that. Because especially here in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the time when a lot of people get seasonal depression, when, the holiday season can be really hard. It can be really triggering. And the winter solstice is like, listen, the worst is over. The darkness is over. And even though the hours of sunlight increase by a very small increment as we move from December 21st, it's still, even if it's a couple of minutes more of daylight, that's still more than we had the day before. And that's so important to remember when you're going through darkness, when you're going through a dark period, a dark night of the soul. Nothing lasts forever. And even a small increment of light can build upon itself and build upon itself. And before you know it, you do see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I love that about the winter solstice. So remember that, okay? Even as triggering as the holidays can be, because we know it can be on many different fronts for all of us, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And the winter solstice allows us to celebrate that. And I absolutely love that. Now, the other thing I want to point out about Capricorn season is that this particular Capricorn season may feel a little different because Pluto is no longer in Capricorn. So I have a little assignment for you. I want you to break out your natal chart and I want you to find the house that is governed by Capricorn. Pluto was in Capricorn from 2008 until 2024. And so every Capricorn season between 2008 and 2024 was likely very intense. You either experienced some kind of ending, some kind of transformation, a rebirth, a death and rebirth cycle. The presence of Pluto in Capricorn made things very intense. And then when you add the sun going through Capricorn, it was just heating up and energizing that Pluto energy, right? So think back to these last couple of Capricorn seasons, basically Christmas time for the last, I don't know, 16 years? How did they feel? What transpired? That area of life is likely very different now than it was back in 2008 or before 2008. And so now that Pluto has finished its transit through Capricorn for good and has moved on to Aquarius, the area of life governed by Capricorn in your chart is going to feel a lot lighter. Arguably, it probably looks very different, but it's not going to be as intense. And going forward, that area of life isn't going to experience that Pluto intensity in our lifetime again. So there could be this feeling of levity. There could be this feeling of accomplishment. There could be this feeling of wow, right? Like let's say you are a Cancer rising and Capricorn is your seventh house of relationships. So between 2008 and 2024, you could have been dating, broken up, dating, gotten to a serious relationship, got engaged, got married. And now it's like you're looking back and you're like, wow, 2008, like I just got out of college and I was hitting the bars every night or whatever. Now I'm like married with kids and, I'm in a whole different stage of life. And, my life looks really different. It has transformed. That's Pluto at work. So this is our first Capricorn season without Pluto in a while. So relish it. Okay. So it probably feels a lot less intense. And the other thing I'll say for the week is that Mercury finally went direct yesterday. And so even though it's still going to take about a week or two to be completely back to its regularly scheduled programming, you'll find that Mercury retrogradiness is not so prevalent right now, which is definitely a great thing. All right. And then apart from that, we just have wow, we only really have 2 transits this week and the moon, and that's it. All right. So speaking of the week, let's get into the week and see exactly what we've got going on. But first, we start off with the highlights. And there's only one highlight this week. Boss the fuck up. This is Capricorn season. We're about to get into Capricorn season. This is the energy signature of Capricorn, is bossing up, being an authority, being an expert, right? Wherever Capricorn is in your chart, this may be where you are asked to step into a leadership role, where you take some kind of authority position, right? Where you structure yourself, where you essentially boss the fuck up. And so this is what I want you to focus on this week. Not necessarily to say that you will, step into a leadership position, but where do you need more structure in your life? And again, you're going to want to look at where Capricorn is in your chart, but where can you have more structure? Where can you implement a system? Where can you set a goal, perhaps a long-term goal, right? That you'll have to work toward, where you can feel a sense of accomplishment, where you can achieve success. That is everything that has to do with Capricorn. And so with the sun moving into Capricorn this week, wherever Capricorn is in your chart, it is indeed time to boss the fuck up. All right. So let's take a look at the week and see what we've got going on. Like I told you, real light week this week. So we start off with the sun square Neptune. Then we've got Venus trine Jupiter. And then, of course, the sun entering Capricorn. All right. And let's see what the moon is doing this week. So we've got the moon is going to be in the waning gibbous phase, right? Because we are making our way to the new moon in Capricorn, which is going to be happening on the 30th. All right. So the moon is going to be waning gibbous in Leo and Virgo. And then we're going to have the last quarter moon in Libra. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into the week and see what we've got going on. Let's start off with Tuesday because that's the first day that we've got something going on. And that is the waning gibbous moon in Leo. All right. So let's see what this looks like on the chart. you will see at the bottom left-hand corner, you will see the moon is at 0 degrees of Leo. Okay. It's important to understand that while the moon is in Leo, it is going to conjunct Mars, which is currently retrograde. All right. So let's discuss. So whenever the moon is in Leo, this is when we get to be playful, when we get to be lighthearted, right? And when the moon is in the waning phase, it's when we divest ourselves of what we no longer need. And what I love about the waning moon in Leo is that it's like, if it's not fun, if your inner child wouldn't approve, if it isn't romantic, if it isn't lighthearted, if you're not passionate about it, just don't do it. Plain and simple, right? Now, the one thing I want to bring your attention to is the fact that the moon will conjunct Mars, which is retrograde. Now, I did a whole video about Mars retrograde. If you haven't checked it out, it will be linked in the description box below. But Mars retrograde, it's slowing things down, stopping certain things, and it's really getting us in touch with things like confidence, willpower, inner anger, rage, things like that, right? And so with the moon conjuncting Mars retrograde this week, probably, I believe that's going to happen tomorrow. This may really flare up your anger. It could really flare up your frustration. Okay. Especially if you feel like you're not getting enough attention, or if your inner child is throwing a temper tantrum. You could even have an actual child throwing a temper tantrum. But this may have you feeling like you don't know how to express your anger or express your emotions or express your frustration. Best advice, do something fun. I was just having this conversation with somebody today. It's like sometimes, we always have to feel what we are feeling. It's when we don't feel what we're feeling that things can get worse, right? But you have to allow your emotions to be felt. That's the whole point of emotions, right? But sometimes, even if it's too much, it is perfectly fine to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm just not going to pay attention to this right now. It's not that you're neglecting it forever, but sometimes in the moment you need something light, you need something fun. And I love the fact that the moon is in Leo while it is conjuncting Mars retrograde, because Mars retrograde may have you feeling like you want to throw a temper tantrum, like you're angry crying, or like you're really upset or anything like that. And with the moon in Leo, it's kind of just like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just do something fun. Let me watch a movie. Let me color. Let me go outside. Let me play video games, like whatever. Do something fun. Diffuse the anger. Find positive and constructive ways to express your anger, your frustration, whatever it is. Play. Literally, you are never too old to play. And Mars in Leo is very much about like playing outdoors, sports, things of that nature, anything, physical activity that's entertaining, all of those things. So that's the best way to sort of cope with that energy, which I love because, again, Moon and Leo was playful, and that Mars retrograde energy, it's just wreaking havoc on so many things right now. So play, essentially. All right. That is Tuesday. Now, let us move into Wednesday. All right. So on Wednesday, we have the Sun square Neptune. All right. Now, let's look at what this looks like on the chart. The sun is still currently in Sagittarius. It's nearing the end of its journey in Sagittarius. And you'll see that at the right-hand portion of the chart. And it will be square to Neptune, which is at the very top portion of the chart, which is at 27 degrees of Pisces. Now, what's interesting about this is that both Neptune is in Pisces and the sun is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius and Pisces share a ruler, which is Jupiter. Okay. Now, the ruler of both of these planets is currently in Gemini. So there is this mental element to this transit that I think is going to be prominent. Okay. And what I mean by that is the sun in Sagittarius is really having us see big picture. It's actually probably firing up our imagination. It's firing up our sense of adventure, our sense of wanderlust. It is like, basically, sun in Sagittarius is like dreaming about a trip to the Maldives, for example, right? And being optimistic and hopeful about it. And then Neptune in Pisces is like taking your imagination times 10, right? And it's sort of giving you this energy of something that's completely unrealistic. It's almost like your imagination is getting the better of you. And with both of these planets ruled by Jupiter, it's like you're seeing the hugest picture ever. It's not even just like you're seeing the big picture, you're seeing a huge picture. So this transit lends itself to your imagination getting the better of you, being very sort of disconnected from reality. And depending on where this is happening in your chart, right? Depending on where Sagittarius is and depending on where Pisces is, these could be areas of life where you're completely missing the mark or where you're completely so disconnected from reality that you're not acting in a way, you're acting in a way that could be to your detriment, let's just say, right? You could be seriously overestimating something or over exaggerating something. Again, there's this energy of being seriously disconnected from reality. However, as I'm not even going to say that could be frustrating. I just think that that could sort of have you on a trajectory that may take you very far from where you're actually trying to go, right? But the one thing I love about this transit, even though it is a harsh transit, our imagination is what creates our reality. And so this is a great transit to really exercise your imaginative abilities. However, that's like the way this transit could play out. It's like you really dream up of, a three-headed unicorn that shits diamonds, right? And And in some strange, weird way, that could come about, right? Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that our imagination could really be on overdrive, for better or for worse. I would say use it for the better, right? So you're really imagining, even if it's some pie in the sky kind of thing, that's better than imagining the worst case scenario. And that's the negative part of this transit. If you're imagining the worst case scenario, your imagination is going to it's like a tree that you plant and the roots are just going to keep getting wider and deeper. Before you know it, you've imagined this hellscape that really has the possibility of coming true. So I say all of this to say, be mindful of what you think about. Be mindful of what you daydream about. Be mindful of what you are ingesting, right? Whether you are seeing things, hearing things, because your imagination is going to be on overdrive, all right? Use it to your advantage and imagine things that you actually want. Imagine the best case scenario, a scenario that your logical mind can't even fathom, and focus on that. Okay. Because otherwise, this transit could lend itself to you being in the dark recesses of your imagination, and ain't nobody got time for that right now. All right. So that's what's going on Wednesday. Let's keep it moving and go to Thursday. All right. So on Thursday, we've got Venus trine Jupiter. And this is perhaps one of the most positive aspects in astrology. Venus and Jupiter are both the positive planets. And so when you put them together in a positive aspect like a trine, you get luck, abundance, you get all of these really, really great things. All right. So let's see where this is actually happening in the chart. All right. So at the upper right-hand corner, you've got Venus in Aquarius, and this is great for thinking of the future, improving and innovating things. And then you've got Jupiter in Gemini, and you'll see that at the left-hand side of the chart. And Gemini is all about sort of the details and how you think and your ideas. So essentially, Wednesday is going to be a day when you have, oh no, that's supposed to be Thursday. I'm sorry, that was Thursday. Did I say that was Wednesday? Thursday. Okay, no, I just confused myself. My bad. That's Thursday. So essentially, because you've got Venus in Aquarius, Jupiter in Gemini, this is like, I want you to pay attention because I just talked about the Sun square Neptune and how that has your imagination on overdrive. Venus is in Aquarius, Jupiter is in Gemini. These are both air signs, communication, and ideas. So this is going to be a day, or this is going to be a stretch of maybe 2 or 3 days where you have opportunities to learn really beneficial things that could be really lucrative to you. You learn really fortuitous information. This is like hearing the winning numbers to the lottery. This could be getting $1 million idea that you could immediately implement. This is the right conversation from the right partner. This is the right business deal. Like, this is like ideas and communication in the best way possible. So you're going to want to keep your eyes and ears open to what you see and what you hear, who orbits into your reality, what they have to say to you, because Thursday is like the gold star day of the week. All right. And so use it to your advantage. And how you can do that is think of a master plan. Venus is in Aquarius. Aquarius is not only where Pluto is right now. So this is where there's an area of life for you that's undergoing a transformation. But now this could be thinking of a plan to get resources. This could be thinking of partnership plans. This could be collaborating with other people. Aquarius is the sign of the collective. So coming together with people, forming groups, forming associations, right? And within these associations, the communications and the ideas and the brainstorming is going to be top tier on this day. All right. So again, use it to your advantage because it's going to be a very positive and fortuitous day. Okay. So that was Thursday. Now that I've got that straight in my mind, let's move on to Friday. All right. So on Friday, we've got the waning gibbous moon in Virgo. All right. And so let's see what this looks like on the chart. At the very bottom of the chart, you will see the moon is in the sign of Virgo. All right. So, whereas when the moon is in Leo, it's playful, it's fun, it's childlike. Moon is in Virgo, it's time for adulting. All right. Virgo is all about perfectionism, details, service, being efficient and organized. So, whenever the moon is in Virgo, this is when we clean up. And the fact that the moon is in the waning phase, right? And like I said before, the waning phase is when we divest ourselves of what we no longer need. So anytime the moon is waning in Virgo, this is literally like spring cleaning. Although it wouldn't be spring cleaning at this time, it would be winter cleaning, but you get the point. Whatever is cluttered, whatever is dirty, whatever is unorganized, straighten it up, clean it up, throw it out, whatever it is, right? Virgo being ruled by Mercury, right? It has a lot to do with our thoughts. And so this is a great time to mentally declutter as well, right? Whatever thoughts you're thinking that aren't serving you. If you are someone who perhaps you wake up every morning, the first thing you do is turn on the news, maybe you might not want to do that, right? It's a little depressing. It's a little, right? Clean up what you're ingesting, right? Interestingly enough, every zodiac sign governs a part of the body, and Virgo covers the digestive system. Virgos are known for having very sensitive stomachs. And even though Virgo rules the stomach, right, it's also ruled by Mercury, which is thoughts, which are communication, right? So, what are you mentally ingesting? You may have a very sensitive mind, but you're ingesting a whole bunch of shit, a whole bunch of negativity. So, check that, right? And make cuts as necessary. And the moon in Virgo will absolutely help you do that. All right. That is Friday. So, move up to Saturday. This is the premier event of the week. The sun moves into Capricorn, and it is the same day as the winter solstice. All right. Let's see what this looks like on the chart. So you will see at the right hand portion of the chart, you will see the sun will be at 0 degrees of Capricorn. All right. So Capricorn season is it's the two S's. It's more than it's the four S's. It's serious, it's success, it's stability, and it's systems. All right. Capricorn is the goat, right? Capricorn, the whole point of Capricorn is to make it to the top of the mountain. And Capricorn will traverse the tiniest little ledge. It will bear the worst weather to get to the top of that mountain. Everything about Capricorn screams success and status. I guess you can add a fifth S, which is status. Um, Working hard and reaping the rewards of that hard work. And this is kind of emblematic of the energy of the season, right? We're in December. This is when everyone is wrapping things up. Everyone is getting structured for the next year. Everyone's trying to clean up and tie up loose ends. So there is this very ever-present energy of working right now, right? But what are you working toward? And that's a very important question. And I think that that's a question that Pluto in Capricorn really had you thinking about between 2008 and 2024, right? What are you working for? What are you working toward? I mean, at times that can become really clear to you, right? Like, especially if you are in a company and you want to get promoted, right? There is a job title, a job status that you want to achieve, and you work toward that, right? But what is your end game? Like, what is your overarching goal? What are you working toward? Because here's the thing, Capricorn is all about hard work, diligent work, rote work, systemic work, right? But if you have no goal, or if you have a goal that's not really valuable to you, that can feel like a living hell, right? And it can have you chained in this cycle of work without purpose. And so, like I said before, with this being the first Capricorn season that Pluto isn't in Capricorn, and now the dust is kind of settling wherever Capricorn is in your chart. And you're like, okay, so this area of life clearly has changed. This might be the perfect time to set a new goal, to climb a new mountain, right? To set a new trajectory for something. Now that this area of life that Capricorn governs has changed. The transformation is complete. So I don't know about you, but it's not even just because it's the new year. But I was having this conversation with my mom today, and my mom was like, something about this year going into 2025 feels very different. And I can attest to that. Like, there is this level of clarity, I guess you could say. Something has clearly ended. There's a very definite line in the sand right now. And this door has closed and this new door is opening, and it feels so different. And the astrology for 2025 definitely supports that. But this Capricorn season is sort of ushering in this energy of new. And so this Capricorn season, it would really benefit you to set a new goal, because you're a new person. You have a new circumstance. You have a new situation that is just freshly minted with Pluto having just left Capricorn. So think about it. Set a new goal. Okay. This is definitely the time to do that. Okay. So that is Saturday. That's the sun in Capricorn. Of course, that's going to last for 4 weeks until January. Okay. And then finally, we get to Sunday and we close out the week on a mellow kind of note with the last quarter moon in Libra. All right. So let's see what this looks like on the chart. You will see at the bottom portion of the chart, the moon is at 2 degrees of Libra, and it will be conjunct the south node, which will also be at 2 degrees of Libra. And this is super important because the north node and the south node are getting ready to change in January. So for the last 18 months, the north node has been in Aries, the south node has been in Libra. And that has been like war and peace. Okay. And clearly we've been seeing this playing out in society at large and even within ourselves, right? And there is going to be this very noticeable energy shift when the north node moves into Pisces and the south node moves into Virgo. And that's happening in January. I'm covering all of that in the yearly astro forecast. But with the moon being in Libra, okay, this is the last time that the moon will conjunct the south node in Libra for another 18 years. Okay. And so that south node in Libra has really been cleaning up our relationships. It has been urging us to strike some kind of fairness, equality, and equanimity within our relationships. And so there's been this perhaps relationships ending, relationships morphing, right? All of that kind of energy. And with the moon conjunct the south node in Libra, it may not feel so good, right? Now, this could be the fact that the South Node is really at the tail end of Libra before it goes into Virgo. This could be feeling good because now you've kind of gotten rid of the relationships that weren't serving you. And now you've really found your people. And, that's a very good feeling. However, with sort of the South Node reaching like a fever pitch in Libra, this could be like, when it's like last call at the bar, right? It's like, all right, do I get another drink? Do I not? Like, it's like, all right, do I continue with this relationship or do I not? Like, it could be that kind of an energy too. So be easy with yourself and deliberate, but decide. Okay. Libra energy is very good for straddling the fence, seeing both sides and kind of being indecisive. But if you've come to the realization that a relationship is not serving you or an aspect of a relationship is not serving you, make a decision to cut that out or change it. Right? Okay. Now, on a more general note, when the moon is in Libra, it's all about socializing. Libra is the charmer. Libra loves to be social. Libra is kind of for the streets, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but every Libra I know stays outside, okay? And so you should too. So it's a Sunday fun day. Have fun, meet up with friends, bottomless mimosa brunch if you're into that. Hanging out, doing stuff together. It's a great day to be social. It's a great day to enjoy other people's company. And it's a great day to feed your soul with friendships that are fair and equal. And that is how we close out the week. Like I said, nothing too heavy this week, right? Kind of light, but we've got that Capricorn energy that is coming in this week, and it's time for us to get serious, close out the fiscal year strong, and get structured for 2025. And like I said, on Friday, I am dropping the year ahead forecast, so you definitely don't want to miss that. For information on all of my products and services, you will find all of that in the description box below. All right, my loves, thank you so much for tuning into this edition of the Weekly Astro Forecast live here in the Astro Room on YouTube. I wish you nothing but the absolute best for the week ahead. All right, and I will see you next week. Take care.